Why it's a huge mistake to grow fast without a scalable business model. Scalable is a word that gets thrown around in business conversations. But what does it mean? That depends on the definition of scaling. I think scaling I wrote in greater detail about the 4 stages of scaling, which are. The unique focus of this article is getting the second stage right. Many CEOs at Inc. Today's must-read, CEOs should do this in the second stage of scaling. But the majority by skipping that second stage, these startups become totally dependent on investors to keep them afloat. As they did to complete stage 2 properly, founders should develop repeatable processes that lower the startup's costs and increase the company's value to customers as the startup grows. An excellent example of this is JFrog, a maker of software that boosts the productivity of software developers, growing at over 500%, which I wrote about. JFrog has a scalable business model. Starting in 20 Inc. Today's must-read, this process was scalable because it did not require field salespeople. Instead, potential customers called JFrogs inside salespeople who persuaded them to buy. What's more, can you make your startup's business model scalable? The answer is yes. You must develop a more specific growth trajectory, making clear choices about your company's revenue and market share goals. Which customer group? Since the company will begin hiring many new employees, you must articulate the culture and communicate it more formally so that new employees will embrace the startup's values. Most importantly, you must define all jobs more specifically, recognizing that the company is transitioning from mostly generalists to more specialists. This will also mean, Inc. Today's must-read, you should define, measure and meet specific goals each week or month, the achievement of which will help the company grow. Key metrics include. Finally, you must coordinate the work of functions such as product development, marketing, selling, service, and order fulfillment to boost efficiency and improve customers' perception of the value of the startup's products. There are plenty of fast-growing, cash-burning startups out there that are probably hoping to go public in the next few years. But if the IPO
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.